I had reoccurring nightmares in which I'd find my patient's corpse in my house, even in my bed. This quote is from the story No Risky Chances by author Gwande. Great imagery provokes our senses, and in this case, we can see the bodies that the character is describing, which allows us to understand more of the character and how he or she might be feeling. How does imagery affect character? In my research, writer Elle Ferdine says that imagery is best when the author is physically describing the character's appearance. That gives the audience ways to feel connected to the character. Author Walter Mosley agrees with writer Ferdine and says that great imagery is like walking through an art gallery, that you see a painting on a canvas and it looks so realistic that you can just go up to it and take the object right off of the canvas. Writer Peter Slane agrees with both Ferdine and Mosley in saying that imagery is important, and he too includes it into his writing. But he also likes to give the audience a chance to create their own interpretation and their own story. In the story written by author Bloom, the quote says, "Realtors who sold only expensive houses and rode horses in the middle of the day when there was nothing worthwhile on the market." This quote allows us to picture the realtors and give us a sense of their lifestyle. It also hints that they are pretty rich and has plenty of opportunities of having a bunch of many luxuries, like riding their own horses and owning big enough land so they could ride. From the story No Risky Chances by author Gwande, the quote says, "She answered the door wearing a robe because of the tube." This has the audience feeling some sort of connection to the character. As writer Ferdine says, describing the character's physical appearance creates that sense of connection. Emotionally, we can tell that she is in some sort of pain because of an illness she has that makes her physically have to have tubes. Also, she seeks a sense of comfort, that comfort being baggier clothing like the robe, and we just feel an emotional connection because of the pain and the physical appearance that was described. From the story No Risky Chances by Gwande, the quote reads, "She tossed all night imagining the pain, the tubes, the horrors of possible complications." This again allows the reader to feel some sort of connection to the character because of the pain that we know that she is in. Because of her illness and a possible surgery that is in her future, she is stressing over the complications. We know that because we have this description of the character frantically tossing in her bed, and we have the sense of worry, of perhaps why she's worrying. It's because of the complications of the surgery, and we have that sense of connection. From the story by author Bloom, the quote says, "I went just once to a Unitarian widows group. All the late husbands were nicer than mine, and the angriest women complained about her husband smoking." Based on this quote, we know that the environment is pretty hostile and has a good amount of attention. We know this because of the description of the angriest woman. Obviously, it is hard for the character and all the other people in the group to go and talk about the loss of a loved one. So we know that there is some sort of pain, and we feel that emotional connection towards the character and perhaps the other people in the room, like the angry woman. From the story No Risky Chances by author Gwande, the quote reads, "I'd seen multiple family members, my wife, my parents, and my children, go through serious life-threatening illnesses, but medicine has always pulled them through." This quote allows us perhaps to think of a personal experience. Maybe it was someone in our family or someone in a friend's family that we know, but we could picture our family member or another family member going through a illness that they have to take medicine for, or we can just picture someone who is ill and feel that connection to the character and build on sympathy for the character. In conclusion, through all this research about imagery and how it affects on the character, it's obvious that stories won't be the same without it. So next time you're reading a book, really pay attention to the amount of imagery that is present and how it makes you feel as a writer. Does it make you feel connected to the story? Do you have some sort of emotional connection to the characters?